What does it mean when people say it needs to feel like Fortnite? Because I feel like that is a throwaway line, an overused one, and actually means very little in any context. So what is Fortnite? At this point we've had 31 seasons of Fortnite, 31 different incarnations of Fortnite. That doesn't even include the metaverse. But just looking at all the Fortnite seasons on this tier list, it's very overwhelming. Take this season for example. Some of you will put it S tier. Some of you will put it probably F tier. And for those of you who are watching this video in the future who didn't play, just like that, we have 3 groups who have very varied opinions on what Fortnite should look like. And when you add the other 30 seasons, how is it even possible to find a consensus what Fortnite should look like? So in this video, do I have to establish how I see Fortnite, what I want Fortnite to be, and see if it matches with your opinion, see if our idea of Fortnite is the same. Or no, I don't really want to do that. I really want this video to be objective, and the video to be about how people come to their conclusions of what Fortnite should be like and their personal experience. The first thing we need to look at is the factors that mold your opinion on how Fortnite season should look for you. One of the most important ones is when you started to play Fortnite. I started in chapter 1 season 6, or at least my first full season anyway. So I've seen almost every chapter, every alliteration of an Unreal Engine. How the game looks, the game feels, the game plays. And apparently, according to some, every single bad season that Fortnite has ever had. Which may be some of your guys' first season playing Fortnite. And if you start with the game, you must have really enjoyed it. If your first season was Wilds, and you enjoyed the boomerang, you enjoyed the augments, you enjoyed the look and feel of the game, a Transformers collab, the storyline, that is going to mould your opinions of future seasons. Another important factor which I think molds your opinion of a Fortnite season is content creators. The most obvious one to point out here if you watch more competitive Fortnite content creators or more casual, because the season meta is going to decide how your content creator has to react to it. So a big one from that would be chapter 5 season 3 Wrecked. If your favourite content creator was a competitive player and because of that you play competitive Fortnite, you're probably going to hate this meta. So that is going to be reflective of how you view future Fortnite seasons and prior Fortnite seasons. If you liked it, the same applies. If your content creator is more memey, more of a laser beam style, they're going to possibly have more fun, or at least create more content because of it. As a content creator myself, I feel it's very easy to forget how biased your community can be towards your own opinion. I noticed this when I talked about hitscan versus projectile. I was shocked to find a good amount of support for projectile based weapons, which was, spoiler alert, also my opinion. Hearing the narrative from the apparent censors of the community, I thought most of my community would want hitscan, but it's a bit more split than I thought. Okay, still probably a large gap, but more than I thought. Supporting projectile, even though from listening to Twitter and videos, I thought it'd be unanimous. But with the type of content I make, where we're discussing other values and other inputs, we're more open to these discussions. And if you enjoy discussions like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we're on the road to 100k and I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting the video. Back to the video. Thanks guys. But talking about content creators who normally do gameplay will have one way of playing the game, and that will be projected onto their audience. When it comes to Fortnite, the creators you watch will influence your opinions. For example, imagine you have 2 videos to select. Fortnite Season 4 is trash and Fortnite Season 4 is good. You will select a video based on your preconceived notions of the season, assuming you've played it of course and you're not just basing it off of like some video. However, it doesn't really matter what video you pick. What matters are the choices behind it. For example, if you like the season, you may choose the video that is titled "Why is it trash?" because you may want to see the opposing view, because you as someone who liked the season is shocked by this opposing view, and you possibly want to listen to it to defend your opinion. People often engage in content that challenges their views, but there's a personal aspect to this, which explains why people feel strongly about certain seasons. Because remember, I am trying to establish why some people feel more strongly about other seasons than others. And it could be situations like this where you're almost being called to action. How most people will react if their opinion is being challenged, most of the time will double down on it, reaffirming their opinion. Which might be the reason why we came out of Chapter 5 Season 3 after the Wreck season and move into this Marvel season, and because of the items that were added, people jumped on it a lot quicker. opinions were taken, sides were drawn. Those who came out of last season hating the vehicles would have been much more quicker to jump on the new Marvel Mythics, and vice versa. People who like the cars defending the Marvel Mythics. But of course, there may be no correlation from people who like the cars would actually end up liking the Marvel Mythics. They could hate them. Who knows, they may have had a bad experience in Chapter 2 Season 4. And that counts for every season. If you didn't like the first Marvel season, you're less likely to like this Marvel season. If you hated seasons where the pump wasn't involved, you're more likely to hate other seasons where the pump also isn't involved. Affected by some form of confirmation bias. If you hate not building, you may not have liked Chapter 3 Season 2 when building went out the game for 2 weeks. And about the "this is Fortnite" question, for many, building is a massive part of Fortnite. But we have to consider the players who will feel that Fortnite to them is zero build. So for not liking zero build, and that was to ever come back into main BR, which I don't see a reason why that would, since we have a different game mode. But for example, you already have a preconceived notion going into that season, a confirmation bias, unless you have something I'd like to call nostalgia blindness. For someone who's played almost every season, Chapter 2 Season 2 is, I think, an excellent example of this. At the time, people complained about the spray meta, the controller spam, the power of some of the mythics, but that is not brought up at all in conversations about Chapter 2 Season 2. CypherPK did a video recently when that was apparently peak Fortnite. Like, you actually go back to big videos at a time talking about Chapter 2 Season 2 or Chapter 2 Season 1, which is also considered a really good season now. It's considered boring, slow, minimal updates, and people talking about Chapter 1. That nothing will beat the peak of Season 5, Season 4, and Season 6. Even though now the seasons that they were moaning about this in are now considered the best. Chapter 2 Season 3 was delayed, meaning that for a whole month and a half, the game was not updated in Season 2, which led to the frustrations. Bit out of their hands, but still. And also around Season 2 and the corresponding season, you had Call of Duty Warzone and Apex Legends coming into the BR game. Taking place from peak Fortnite? Of course, I understand retrospective thoughts, and people could retrospectively go, you know what, this was a pretty good season, probably one of the best. Or maybe Chapter 2 Season 2 did a really good job of hollowing out the community for people that just didn't like that season and they never came back, and stopped with games like Warzone and Apex, meaning the players left wouldn't have negative connotations about that season because they remained. Oh no, it's quite a jump in logic to presume that everyone hating that season just left, because at the moment you have a problem now where people don't have another game to jump to. Maybe that's why Chapter 2 Season 2 and seasons around that are liked so much. You have different games. You had Apex, Warzone. I think even the Among Us trend started around there. So I think Among Us would have been a little bit later in that year, so that would have been Chapter 2 Season 4. Now people have to live on Fortnite. Maybe it's not the fact that it was prime Fortnite, it was actually prime gaming. Now, for no reason at all, 2020 was a good year for gaming. But another thing that comes up when you talk about what a Fortnite season should look like are the graphics, and that is a real hot topic. Should it be Chapter 1 style, Chapter 2, even Chapter 3? I'm even hearing arguments for Chapter 4. Now, Chapter 1 graphics are Fortnite. Now, Chapter 2 graphics are Fortnite, and so on and so on. And I'm intrigued by the argument that Fortnite has to be cartoonish to be Fortnite. The opinion that Fortnite is meant to be cartoonish because that's how it used to be doesn't apply to any other argument, does it really? Come on. Oh, what about the weapons? What about the movement? Oh yeah, that's how it used to be. That's not how it has to be now, is it? But the cartoony graphics, yes, that is something that isn't going to be able to be moved on by many. Maybe there are fundamentals that can't be changed, but Fortnite always innovates. Why can't they innovate on the graphics? Some people who play Chapter 1 may feel, oh, eventually they got the graphics right with Chapter 4, it was a nice blend. All the same with Chapter 3. So we're trying to answer the question of, what is Fortnite? When people say, this is Fortnite. The question you should also be asking is, do Epic listen? And I think what we discussed in today's video, how the hell are you meant to convey that Fortnite are even listening when there's so many voices? I've enjoyed this chapter. I've enjoyed this storyline. I've enjoyed the projectile-based weapon system. That is a challenge to use. and I think I'm quite good at it. But if Chapter 6 comes along and they remove projectile-based weapon system, I go, oh my god, they didn't listen to me? They didn't listen to my idea of Fortnite? But you got to think, you got the whole community. And sometimes the smaller voice will probably win, because you got to understand that even people at Epic Games have their own opinions of how Fortnite should look, and it will be a collective decision on what ideas they bring to the table. But in conclusion, what constitutes this is Fortnite? Ultimately, it boils down to personal preference. Each player's experience shaping their views of the game, influenced by factors like when they started playing, their preferred game style, their mechanics, their opinions on graphics, innovations they liked with the game, the competitive elements. It varies every single time. If one season doesn't resonate with a player, the next season may be your best season ever. Thus, Fortnite can be seen as a real roller coaster experience. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but eventually you need to get off. Why do I say it like that? But for real now, let me know down in the comments what Fortnite means to you. What does this is Fortnite mean to you? If you did like the video, subscribe, hit the like button, and you may enjoy this video. Guys, it has been your boy Mr. JY. Till next time, bye bye.